Hey everyone, welcome once again to yet another episode of Two Noobs Talking. It's episode 107. We've got John Tracy with me. We have Steve Murray with me. I'm, of course, Matt Craig. Happy to have you with us. Gents, it's Red October in the city of Philadelphia, and the Phillies, at the time of this recording, Saturday night, are in the National League Championship Series. First time, I think, since 2010, I believe, right? If I'm right, recalling that right. And, of course, when this drops, it'll be Game 2 of the NLCS on Wednesday night. It's also the 2-year anniversary of Two Noobs, so I guess we're in a celebratory mood. I mean, why not? But, Johnny, I mean, it's great to be able to do this with you for 2 years. And, of course, Steve coming along board end of December of last year.
Thank you both for taking the bullshit out of my head and making it real. Appreciate it.
I'm not so sure it was bullshit, but it was
shows what kind of friends you guys are.
There you go.
Well, while you were getting set up, Matt and I were discussing about throwing you off the show. So
awesome. So I can leave. Awesome.
There you go.
I love to create. I hate to hang out.
Oh my god!
The way it is. It is the way it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me hit you with my what the fuck fact, because this one was hilarious when I think it was John Smoltz brought it up, or the guy with John Smoltz. That's the only way I know that dude. He's done a phenomenal job, by the way. I'm not going to shit on that guy at all. Like, that play-by-play guy's been phenomenal throughout these last couple series.
Other than you don't know his name.
I have no idea what the fuck his name is. I haven't caught it yet. But he's doing an awesome job. So,
that's awesome.
The did you know what the fuck fact is that Eflin, the amazing, wonderful human being that is tripping along and pitching weird innings here and there, was a part of the Jimmy Rollins trade when they traded him to LA.
Really?
I think I knew
did
that.
not. I knew it, but I didn't know it. When he brought it up, I was like, "Oh, wait a minute!" It was two throw-in pitchers, and it turns out Eflin is the second longest tenured Philly of this team, which is crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, that is.
And
nuts.
he was in that Jimmy Rollins trade, and I don't remember any. Like, I didn't remember any names, and then looking back on it, I was like, "Oh wow, he actually has been here that long."
Yeah, I would think. I'm trying to remember, like, when he actually came to Philly. I mean, if you're talking the Jimmy Rollins deal, to the Dodgers, that's like 2014 that happened. I think, if I remember right. So, I mean, he would be one of the longest tenured for sure.
I don't know when he came up. It feels like he's been here forever. It really does. It feels like he's been pitching for us forever.
He's one of those that, like, and he's like on his last year, I think, of his current contract. So it's like, it's now, it's like kind of a now or never, and he got hit, and of course he got hurt.
Yeah.
So, like, the question is, do you bring him back or not? Who knows? But I mean, he's come in and he's kind of, back into that bullpen right now, and it's done very, very well. Hanging in there more than anything else. I didn't realize he was part of that Jimmy Rollins deal.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy.
36 and 45 career record, 4.49 ERA in his career. Debut in June of 2016.
Okay,
guys, just so you guys know. So there you go.
He's been here for a while.
Yeah,
it's amazing. How you build the team.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we ought to do a quick shout out here to Keith Murray, who had a great tapping goal. I'm going to throw that.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, that was shared by, of course, like one of our co-hosts here, obviously the father of Keith. Way to go, Keith. Nice tapping goal there. And you behaved the right way, up 11-2. You didn't rub it in somebody's face, that kind of deal. So it was pretty good. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see, guys.
He knows the game.
Oh, yeah. He's taught well. He knows what's going on.
He knows the game.
Speaking of hockey, I know it's awesome the Phillies won the NLCS, but the Flyers actually also won today, so it's a good day.
Yeah.
They're
2-0, and there are people who are angry about that. And that just
Well, I mean, you got to tank for the number one pick, I guess. But
do you really?
No, you don't.
You've got a team of guys under 25. You really want them living in a toxic environment where you're losing intentionally?
No.
For a 25% chance of landing a guy who, by the way, Craig Button just went on record saying he thinks he's a franchise player, but not generational.
Oh.
So,
I love how they use those words too, because you don't even know. He might not even be that good.
Yeah.
From other things that we've read, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he might not be that good.
I was just going to say he could be another Patrick Stefan. That didn't exactly work out for him either. So, I mean,
he also could be Trent Klatt. I mean, that's the literal. That's where the media has put this dude. Like, he could be Wayne Gretzky. He could also be Trent Klatt. And ESPN that's what they're selling to you. He's the number one pick. He could be the greatest thing ever. He also could be a shitty third line player.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's tank for him, guys.
You say that, but Matt, you and I both know that John's got a closet full of Trent Klatt memorabilia hanging up in the shrine.
Oh, yeah, I love Trent Klatt, yeah.
I
love anybody that Eric Lindros ever passed the puck to. How big of an Eric
behind the camera?
I am. Yeah.
What do you think is behind the camera there, Steve? He's probably got the whole shrine side.
Actually, let me...
Number 20!
Since I can walk, I will actually show you what's behind the camera, and you guys will get a kick out.
As John disappeared, I gotta love it. It's absolutely hilarious.
It is. Oh, this is funny that Matt just said that. It is a memorabilia coin of Eric Lindros.
Look at that right there.
That is directly behind the camera that my father gave to me years ago. That is still a wonderful piece of my collection. Only Flyers piece in this entire room.
How cool is that? Oh my gosh, how cool is that?
That's why I joke and say anything that Eric Lindros passed to, I like. So
absolutely.
Just my message to the Flyers fans is enjoy a team. John Tortorella is doing exactly what we thought he was going to do, which is get the team to play hard.
Heck yeah.
Okay? They're playing hard.
Absolutely.
They're playing well. Enjoy it.
Yeah, please.
Don't worry about Bedard. It's freaking October, people. Come on.
Please, for the love of God, just enjoy it.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, exactly. And credit to Torts. I mean, that's huge. You can't go wrong beating the Devils and then beating Vancouver. I mean, that's great. That's just awesome. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and dive into topic number 1 and some great news out of NASA. And disappointing for me, I guess, in some respects, because obviously, being a huge Armageddon movie fan that I am,
die on that hill. Okay,
I was going to die on that hill.
I'm glad we got that on video.
Exactly. The DART system, guys,
Matt hates
was
NASA.
Successful. No, I don't hate NASA, Johnny. I just love the fact that something actually is working in NASA, and it's good to celebrate that, right?
Sometimes
they changed. They changed the motion of a celestial object by firing a missile. I believe that. It
was not a missile. It was not a missile. It was just a craft.
Oh, it was just a craft. Okay,
yeah, they just slammed a craft. They just slammed a craft into a moon of an asteroid. Yes.
Was it one of those bullshit rockets that you hate, Steve? Was it like shaped like the things that they're now trying to shoot up into fucking the moon and shit, like that fucking weird shaped rockets that they have on?
My guess is probably not. I don't actually know what it looks like.
I'm hoping it's not what. Well, they should use them up because they have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the actual event live.
Oh wow!
And it was funny because I turned it on about an hour before impact, and they're like, "Oh yeah, and we can now make out the asteroid Dimorphos or whatever," and you just see a blank screen with a little tiny white dot in the middle of it. It was like you were watching Pong or something.
Oh, that's amazing.
But, as they got closer and closer, it obviously grew bigger and bigger. And the images they got kind of just before impact were amazing.
Yeah.
7 million miles away. It was pretty cool.
That's nuts. That's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie though. Part of me wanted it to miss, just because I would have liked to have seen the reaction.
Oh yeah, the other disappointment.
Like, all right, here it goes. Oh shit.
We missed.
And watch it like hit Saturn and alter its orbit, right? I mean, that kind of a deal.
They absolutely celebrate it like they wanted to make sure that it was impact before, because they had the 2 feeds. They had the visual feed and they had and they were very wanting to jump up and go, but they were not until it was absolutely confirmed.
Well,
that it's in there. And then the Eagles Super Bowl celebration wasn't that big. The way they were jumping around, that was, I mean, I understand that's bigger than a Super Bowl. I mean, you launched a craft into that's impressive.
It is an amazing accomplishment. You guys are right. I mean, it is an amazing accomplishment. Nothing like this has ever happened before, obviously, and it was like, it gives hope that if there were to be an asteroid incoming to Earth, they're able to successfully alter its orbit. I mean, that's something that's never been done. Theoretically,
yes,
exactly.
Let me just give you some perspective on what they've done. I mean, it's an amazing achievement, and kids, it's all because of math. So, John's getting lit up in nuclear fire again.
Yep. Again, just for this.
There you go.
The moon. There was actually a binary asteroid system. There was an asteroid, and then the what we hit was actually like a moon, not a moon, but it was orbiting the asteroid. And as I understand it, the thing we hit was only about 500 feet, kind of across.
Amazing.
Okay.
Again, an amazing achievement. Hit something that small, precisely 7 million miles away from the Earth.
Yeah.
But the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, in contrast, was 6 miles wide. So that's a lot bigger.
You would need a few. A few of those.
A few darts to kind of.
A few of them.
Yeah. Now, if you hit it, the issue I think is if you can hit it far enough away from the Earth. Even if you displace it by, say, a degree, right? A degree, it's tiny. But the distance it has to travel, that degree is going to grow and grow and grow and grow. And that would make a huge difference if it's far out.
Exactly.
The other issue you have to worry about is making sure we can catch an asteroid in time, that we can hit it that far out.
And we'll just have to see how it goes. Nancy Chabot, or Chabot, I think that's how she pronounces her last name, Chabot, the DART coordination lead from the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory in Laurel, Maryland, guys, said this, quote, DART is giving us some fascinating data about both asteroid properties and the effectiveness of a kinetic impactor as a planetary defense technology. The DART team is continuing to work on this rich data set to fully understand this first planetary defense test of asteroid deflection. So they're still learning in regards to this. I mean, I think it's going to be...
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the fact
they
that
didn't know what the makeup of this asteroid was. It was like, are we hitting solid rock, or when we hit it, is it just going to explode into a billion pieces?
They
just like little chunks.
Yeah.
This is the kind of their first step into this. And I think it was very successful from what I'm reading. It was very successful. They got a ton of learning pieces to it. They were able to hit it, which was not actually thought of, that they weren't sure that they were going to hit it. So they hit it. So that's one plus. And they learned a lot from after hitting it. So I'm kind of positive that their next test is going to be interesting, because they got a lot more data now. This is how science works. Unbeknownst to Fauci, this is how science works. You do something, it works. You then work on it. We see you again. This isn't... In Fauci's word, they threw something at it, it hit it, it was supposed to be that way, it's always going to be that way, everybody should throw something at it.
Oh, you mean like shit hitting the fan? Yeah, it's shit hitting the fan, basically. Focus now is shifting toward measuring the efficiency of momentum transfer from darts roughly, you got this, guys, 14,000 mile per hour collision.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea, 14,000 mile per hour collision with its target. This includes further analysis of the ejecta, the many tons of asteroidal rock displaced and launched into space by the impact. The recoil from this blast of debris substantially enhanced dart's push against Dimorphos. A little like a jet of air streaming out of a balloon sends the balloon in the opposite direction. So it's fascinating to see the science behind this, and who knows what else they're going to continue to learn about it. But kudos to NASA. John, you've always loved NASA, and I'm right there with you. And the fact that it was taken away from us, that really, like with the death of the space shuttle back there,
fuck
it was kind of like, well, yeah, it was kind of like, well, what are they going to do now, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
And here they are, they're getting their science is coming back, and they're coming back in a big way. And, with
I love hearing these stories, because this is what we grew up with. This is totally what we grew up with. NASA's learning and growing and doing, and they're back to doing it. And that's good. I mean, it's not all going to work out well. Trust me. But the fact that they're doing it makes me happy.
Well, Matt's disappointed because he doesn't get to send up oil drillers to plant a nuke 800 feet into an asteroid.
Yes.
But...
Yeah, exactly. And you don't have Steve Buscemi up there?
I'd much rather them.
That's true.
I'd much rather them learn years ahead of time. And I don't need to know about this shit. Just do it. I don't need to know about it. I don't need the heroic of Steve Buscemi and whatever that bald guy is that's in that Christmas movie that might not be a Christmas movie. And why the fuck is Ben Affleck in it? It makes no sense.
My question is, why did we really have to undergo this when, 40 years ago we already developed the number one asteroid defense system? It seems to work. I don't get why we can't just use that. I mean,
some things will always remain a mystery, my good man. Some things will always remain.
Because when you fund NASA, they actually play asteroid.
I would have liked to have seen. They didn't show enough of what's on their panels. When they're waiting for this, because I think it was computer guided, so it's not like somebody had a joystick to kind of maneuver it. It was very lackluster in, other than the celebration afterwards.
I don't think they were sure that it was going to hit anything. They were just hoping, because it was very.
What would have been?
It was very it's almost there. Oh my God, it's almost there.
Yeah.
And then when it hit, everybody was like, "Yeah, we did it!" But they were not confident at all.
Steve.
Yeah,
go ahead, Steve. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, they celebrated, and then they realized, oh crap, now we have to figure out if it actually worked. It did what it was supposed to do. Matt, you talked about the 14,000 miles an hour. It's about momentum, right? And the more momentum you can hit something with, the better chance you have of deflecting it or changing something about it. And momentum consists of two things, mass and velocity.
Yep.
And the dart certainly didn't have mass. So you needed a shit ton of velocity to make anything happen.
Could you imagine,
14,000 miles an hour.
Could you imagine if it was too fast and it just split right through it? How their reaction would have been? If they would have if they would have just missed that calculation and it just whoop, right through, and they would have been like, "Well, fuck, it's still going."
What are you talking like a donut now? It's got a big hole.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm literally saying. What if they totally missed that calculation and it was going too fast and it just went right through it? That would have been great. That would have been an interesting reaction.
Well, that's sort of like what happened in the counterpart movie to Armageddon. It came out the same summer, Deep Impact, where they went up and they detonated the nuke, and instead of having one comet, now they had two comets coming straight toward Earth.
That's what I'm saying.
Oops.
We didn't knock this thing off at all. Now there's just two of them coming at both sides of it.
It's coming at us more aerodynamically now.
Fortunately, though, we have Morgan Freeman pulling us through as president of the United States. Right. He's a far better president. That would have been great.
Much better. Yeah, he's the best president we've seen in a while.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, here we go with topic number 2 of episode 107. And, this one from the Weird File. This Joe Rogan AI interview with Steve Jobs is fake. It's also terrifying. That's saying an understatement here. Of course, Joe Rogan being so popular with the Joe Rogan Experience podcast on Spotify. Apparently
11 million people listen to him. 11 million.
We got a ways to go on that, guys. I'm just saying. I mean, with our 32 subscribers on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, but we got.
I like our 32 subscribers.
Heck yeah, absolutely. But apparently, he was interviewing Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, of course, died 11 years ago. It was created by Podcast.ai. Let me say that again. Podcast.ai used artificial intelligence to create this interview. It was absolutely terrifying. Some parts are clunky and easy to distinguish from the real McCoy, but it represents what's possible with a little polish. Yeah, guys, this is really, really strange. Along with deep fake technology, audio crafted using artificial intelligence can be weaponized via the media or politics and represents a problematic future for a society already plagued by misinformation. But on the plus side, this same technology will keep Darth Vader's iconic voice alive for infinity and beyond. Let's just hope they leave this one in the vault for as long as possible. Johnny, quick reaction. What do you think about all this, man? This is really...
It's creepy as fuck, because half the population doesn't know Steve Jobs has been dead for 11 years. So half the population is going to run with this as, oh, did you hear Steve Jobs' interview with Joe Rogan? We've been dealing with that with fake news all along. We know that most people are not paying attention. That's what's creepy about this.
Yeah.
I don't know what other people have to say about it, but it's creepy.
I think it's just. Wait a minute. Who said that? What's going on?
Hi. Hello.
Who are we speaking to?
Yeah.
I want to have them answered immediately.
So yeah, it could be even play with Arnold in the background as he's adding in his. Well, my name's Matt Craig. What's yours? You know.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
So, Steve, your initial thoughts on this before Arnold goes totally out of control? What do you think about it? Good Lord.
Now, please get your mother. Where is she? I'll call you back.
I'm with John on this. You know, this is just another step towards, there's evidence that I wasn't there because the video shows I was somewhere else. Well, we're getting to a point where video can be faked and images can be faked, and now conversations with dead people can be faked. So I find it just as freaky.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where this would stand in terms of the future. But obviously it's like I think the article mentioned, it's like, okay, we'll keep James Earl Jones alive and the Darth Vader voice alive, because I mean, that's iconic from a movie standpoint. But from like interviews with one person to another, I mean, I would think there's also kind of some sort of like a huge ethical issue too. Obviously,
I
that
think
kind of
so. I think so. Even keeping James Earl Jones' voice alive, there's an ethical issue, because We're just gonna fake it. We're just gonna decide what the 5 greatest things are, and that's all we're gonna do. As a society, we've literally just come to we're never gonna invent anything new. We're just gonna fucking deal with these 5 fucking things, and fuck everybody else. We'll just get on a spaceship and never have to deal with humanity ever again. It makes them. Yeah. What happens to the actor that maybe could portray that better?
Yeah.
What happens to the next great movie? Like, what is with society's concept of we just have to stop here because this is the greatest it'll ever be and we'll never get better than this?
Yeah.
So we got to bring Steve Jobs back in an interview with Joe Rogan. Makes no sense because he didn't interview. Joe Rogan never interviewed him. Never had a chance to interview him.
No.
But Joe Rogan has 2,000 podcasts where he's interviewed 2,000 other people that you might want to listen to. I don't know why we're worried about the ones he didn't or the ones that are faked.
Correct.
That's the
Arnold, calm down over there.
Oh, I love Arnold. Arnold, keep talking. You're supporting me, Arnold. I got a fan club of 1, and it's Arnold.
There you go. Exactly.
Be proud of yourself.
Yes.
No, I think you're right on, John. I think it's just so the ethical implications about all of this, really, from just the fact that Jobs has been dead for 11 years, and the fact that well, it has to matter, Arnold. I mean, come on. At the end of the day, it's just it has
Arnold,
to matter.
He did do some things. Steve Jobs did do some things. He helped.
He did. He did help. Exactly.
I can't disagree with you there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, too funny.
Stop whining.
I have one question. Speaking of whining, let me just whine before we end this thing. I have to whine about getting old. What is society's issue with getting old? I don't understand.
That's a great question.
We're always so worried about the now and what it's always the greatest thing. It's always the greatest thing. I don't never hear anybody just talking about I can't wait to what it's like in 10 years or hopefully not 10 years, but sooner when my kids have kids. I can't wait to be a grandparent. I can't wait to get older. I can't wait to see what next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a year has to hold for me. I'm in this long term is the way I look at life. Yeah. I don't understand this society where it's everybody's just oh, this is the greatest it'll ever be, and I'm gonna die on this hill. I don't understand it.
That's a great question, Johnny. I think for me, it's I share that same sentiment. It's I've always enjoyed getting older. I've always been older. Really, even when I was in my 20s, I almost felt like I had a more sense of more maturity.
We're all a bit of old souls. All 3 of us.
We are.
We're older souls. I mean, we're not old, but
Well, at least we're trying not to be. But yeah,
I mean, we're all very immature, but we're very also mature at the same time.
Exactly.
But nobody is fully mature, so everybody has their little quirks and they. But I'm just saying that's what I feel the media and the way. That's why I feel this comes along. That someone wanted to create an interview that never happened. Why couldn't it just not happen? It didn't happen. It didn't line up. Joe Rogan didn't have a podcast when Steve Jobs was alive. So that interview didn't happen.
So bizarre. I think it's just the fact, too, that we always want the next big thing. We're never really content with what we've got. And I think that's probably a bigger discussion down the road, but I think that's probably at the heart of where you're getting at, Johnny. It's there you go. You just never appreciate the good, and that's the thing, or the things that kind of just make you feel more content each and every day, and allow you to gain that wisdom each and every day. I'm just spitballing there a little bit, but I think that's pretty where you're going at. Steve, do you have any?
What does Arnold think about it?
Well, yeah. What does Arnold think?
What the fuck? Don't mention me.
My goodness, I don't know what's going on there.
He's angry.
He is very angry.
Maybe we don't want to get old because Arnold's old and he's angry.
Mm-hmm. He didn't look too good in those Super Bowl ads, too. I'm just saying. That kind of a deal. So, I don't know. Hey, guys, it's topic 3. And this is for all of our millennial and Gen Z friends. How you guys doing? Guys, we have this tremendous. We all three of us had a laugh this week over pre-production, and Steve brought it to our attention. It fits. It's the Steve Murray segment. Topic 3.
You're gonna blame me for this, huh?
The UK. I'm not blaming
all the
you for this. This is this is tremendous. I love it. I think it's great because I love trolling people. And if there's a group that I love to troll more, it's the millennials and Gen Z, because these people are just out of their freaking minds. UK Daily Mail article, and by the way, I'm not trying to offend anybody that doesn't take offense to it, but I mean, come on. You millennials are nuts. UK Daily Mail article, why nobody should be using the thumbs
except
up
for
emoji.
Glenn.
Except for Glenn. Exactly.
I think, depending on how you define millennial, I might be one.
You might
I don't know. I don't know what the exact birth year is for millennials, but I'm
81. Well, you're probably tailing Gen X, I think. I think so.
I think it varies depending on who you ask.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, I know people that would quantify me as a millennial because I was born in '78. So it's like 78 to 82 is like a real foggy area. I have a lot of millennial friends that I don't disagree with on a lot of things. I don't know exactly where it's the Gen Z. It's the people after us, no matter what we're quantifying, that are fucking shit up.
Yeah, exactly. UK Daily Mail article, guys. So here we go. Why nobody, in caps, by the way, why nobody should be using the thumbs up emoji in 2022, and the 10 symbols only old people use that have Gen Z rolling their eyes. Gen Z sees the thumbs up emoji as rude or passive aggressive.
Do they even know what passive aggressive means?
No, they don't. They have no idea. They don't.
Sending a thumbs up can be seen as passive aggressive and even confrontational, guys, according to Gen Z, who claims they feel attacked whenever it's used. Whether the chat is informal between...
What do they feel about shut the fuck up? Is that offensive to them? Because that
what
makes
about this?
No sense.
Do they feel offended by that? Really?
So
do they feel offended by that?
So if you work with me and I go, good job, and you go, I'm offended, what happens when I call you a fucking idiot and you don't know shit about shit and get the fuck out of my face? Is that offensive, or do you like that? I
don't know. I don't get it. Whether the chat is informal
I'm asking
between
for
friends,
educational purposes only.
Or at at work, the icon appears to have a very different rude meaning.
I'd love to know, does it actually says what the rude meaning is in this article? Because I'm not sure I remember reading that.
24-year-old on Reddit summed up the Gen Z argument, saying it is best never used in any situation as it is hurtful.
What?
Hold on. No one my age in the office does it, but the Gen X people always do it. It took me a bit of time to adjust and get it out of my head that it means they're mad at me. That's his quote. This guy, this Reddit dude.
So a thumbs up, he was interpreting with no further context as that they were mad at him.
Yeah. Mad.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
I don't get it. I don't get it, Steve.
Thumbs up has always been.
That's a bit.
Yeah, it's been great job. Way to go. Awesome. Way to go, Phillies. We love you. That kind of a deal, right? I mean, that's what it's all about right there. But it's part of a recent poll of 2,000 young people aged 16 to 29.
So it certainly don't qualify in that age group.
Exactly.
Yes,
so you're safe
definitely
there.
Not.
Yeah.
I've got some kids in that age group.
Yeah. So
Ask
John,
them.
you're gonna have to ask them and teach them that it's okay, that this is good. I mean, seriously.
They're not soft like butter, so they're fine.
Others agreed
properly.
it is. This is from the article, gents. Others agreed it is bad form, especially at work, where it can make the term appear unfriendly and unaccommodating. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I have something I'd say to that. Okay, so if your boss emails you, right, and he has like a detailed list of shit you need to do, shit you don't do good, shit you do well, like a performance evaluation, your email response should not be a thumbs up.
No,
like I could understand that. I could understand
stupid.
that, but that's the only way that I think about. Or if someone is giving you a directive or anything like in the workplace, and you respond with the yellow thumbs up, like you're an asshole. I get that, but if this is like have a great day with a thumbs up after it's like, hey, just a note, I'm going to be on vacation for the next week. Please relay all your messages to Steve. He's going to be covering me for this time. With a thumbs up, you know what I mean? Like an answer to a thumbs up, that's not offensive in any way. You know what I mean? It's just like, got it.
Wait.
I just don't have enough time to to answer it.
All right, let me just make sure I understood that. So you're okay with if you say, I need you to do something, and I respond, thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's totally
cool.
cool.
All right, because I was
basic.
I was mishearing.
Yeah. No, simple basic tasks like, hey, I'm going to be on vacation. Please go this way. Not a problem. Like, that's not offensive at all. But if it's like a formal letter from a boss or a client, that's not okay. Like, you should probably type some words.
I mean, I get that
some
point.
Words.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't put that in an email. A lot of this it's an icon. We have to remember this is an icon that is used as, to your point, John, a confirmation that everything's good. That's really what we're bringing to the table here. And I use that. I don't know how many times I have used that internally and no one thinks of it. No one thinks Matt's being an asshole because he's giving me a thumbs up symbol saying like everything's all good. I appreciate you, all that kind of stuff. I mean, this is just a mountain out of a molehill, guys. More than anything else.
It is.
Who had the idea in their head initially to say they get a thumbs up and they're like, oh, I'm in trouble now. Oh man. Geez, he gave me a thumbs up. Oh, he hates my guts. I'm just gonna. Oh God. Well, I should quit right now. What? Whoever got that impression, and why would they get that impression?
One woman in this article said, quote, I don't know why, but it seemed a little hostile to me. Well, if it's hostile, that's the thing. It's hostile to you.
But
that's your problem.
Because you're an idiot.
Yeah. That's a problem for you to understand. That's a problem for you to overcome. It has nothing to do, it doesn't offend anyone else. Why does it have to offend you? And why do we have to talk about you all the time?
But apparently they took a poll and it offends a lot of people.
Well, okay. And then, all right, so we have this business consultant, gents. This Sue Elson character here. It could time.
Wait. Give the full title. Wasn't this one of those good titles?
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, it was just a business consultant.
Damn.
It was according to business consultant Sue Elson. It could take time. It could be time to take the younger generation's lead. She believes words are always better than symbols in a professional icon, and can see how people are disillusioned by the all good icon, meaning the thumbs up. Predictive systems can type a word like "thanks" in 2 clicks after a while. Well, some people don't have time to put thanks in an email or thanks in an emoji,
Office 365 and every other email client I've ever used gives you 7 predictive text at the bottom of the screen to respond to anyway. So you don't, if you actually have no verbal communication, you can totally have verbal communication. So I don't understand why she's acting like it's a blank email that comes through. Like, everybody has predictive responses I think in every email client.
Yeah.
Unless I'm wrong.
Read a little further, because I feel like if I remember correctly, she contradicts herself. Keep reading.
I'm looking for it. Yeah. So she says here, while people in their mid-30s and older are comfortable using a thumbs up, younger people are not. Let me see here. Miss Elson said some people hate the thumbs up because it seems as an automatic option and could have been pressed by accident.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's it. Okay. It seems like an automatic option. It could have been pressed by accident.
Yeah.
You just said, oh, well, you should type because it's predictive.
Yeah.
That's the same friggin' thing. It's an automatic option.
Yeah.
And, I could have accidentally typed thanks when what I wanted to type was this is bullshit. But with TH, I got a thanks and I accidentally hit enter and you got a thanks by accident.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point.
That argument makes no sense whatsoever.
No sense.
So she says, don't hit the thumbs up because that's an automatic accidental response. But go ahead and use predictive text. Because that's always right.
Yeah, exactly.
Which it's never right. We all know this.
No. Hey, so the email you're talking about where it gets you like 3 responses.
Yeah.
So when I file something at the patent office, my assistant will generally load a bunch of documents up that I then go in and look to review before they get released. So what happens is she'll load the documents and she'll send me an email and say, these documents are uploaded for your review. And when I hit reply on the email, I get 3 predictive things. One of which always appears to be hilarious. That's the word that wants me to put in the email back. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Because that makes no sense.
That makes no sense.
Because her doing her job is hilarious.
It's hilarious.
Apparently.
So predictive text is not exactly a beacon of knowledge there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes the predictive text is actually passive aggressive. Because if you're like, I've had a couple dealing with a buddy of mine who handles all the state filings. He'll send me an email about something that maybe is a little sketchy, and one of the responses I always want to hit because we're pretty good friends and we're kind of passive aggressive to each other anyway, is thanks, buddy. It always pops up when only him, nobody else. And I want to use it all the time, but I don't because it's thanks is just clean. But thanks, buddy. Yeah. It seems extra special.
Just this article, gents, was just absolutely hilarious. Continue with this Sue Elson check.
It potentially has very different meanings depending on the cultural background of the recipient. Approval, happiness, encouragement, number one, or go to the surface when diving, she said.
Yes, because in my law office, people will interpret a thumbs up as, I'm diving right now.
I'm diving right now. I got to go up to the surface? Like, what? Are you out of your freaking mind, Check? Come on. She believes the thumbs up.
You know what she did? Now, she looked up, different meanings of thumbs up. I didn't hear a bad one in there, by the way.
Nope.
I know this to our friends in England is basically the equivalent of this.
Yes. Yes.
So you can't. It's not a good idea if you want to show 2 in England to do this. But in the list Matt just read, I didn't hear any bad.
Nope.
Thumbs up.
There is no connotation that's bad to thumbs up. There's none.
Exactly.
At all.
None.
Ever.
None whatsoever. Yeah.
Everything is either go help yourself or good job.
This is amazing, though, where she says, and another point that I want to raise, too, in this article, to Steve's point, that she contradicts herself. She contradicts herself again later on in this article by saying this. She believes a thumbs up should be kept to social media or at most text. Now, this is her quote,
it can be a nice technique for liking a message before responding in text, as it indicates the sender's message was good, and this can aid the relationship.
Okay, time out. So let's just think about this, gents. We cannot use thumbs up in the workplace, according to this chick, but when we send a text, we can because it's good. Which is it? It's like Fauci. Which is it? What do you want us to do? why do we have to go beyond our, like, why do we have to continue to lose hair and pull the rest of our hair out with these stupid emojis? I don't know. It just drives me crazy with this woman.
You guys are getting a text right now.
I think this is not only just a thumbs up, gents, but there's also a couple of other things. The top
let's hit
10
some of
emojis.
those.
There you go.
Yes.
Thanks,
Yes.
John, for that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Top 10 emojis
I thought
that
you were
make
doing
you
a
look
good job.
old. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But there are not only just a thumbs up emoji that make us look old, gents, but there are 9 others. You want to know what they are going through here?
Yes.
The red love heart was second at 22%. So those red love hearts, to your wives, girlfriends, can't send that. That makes you look old. The okay hand,
I don't give a shit. I'm still gonna love my wife. I don't give a shit what they say.
My wife, who is basically the same age as me, by the way. So,
exactly. Yeah. The okay hand.
Fuck you. You're not gonna tell me what I can send to my wife.
Exactly.
So whatever I want.
The okay hand. The okay hand, guys, 20%.
That's a little weird. That is a little weird because nobody does that in real life. Yeah, nobody does that in real life.
Yeah.
If you do it in real life, I think you're kind of weird. So if you do it in text, I think you're extra weird.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
That one I agree. I agree with. There's no place for okie dokie. There's no place for this.
It doesn't look right either. It doesn't look right on the emoji itself. It's weird.
I'm not okay with that.
Don't they usually do that
with them on that one?
Don't they usually do that in, like, basketball? They throw the three-pointer up like this? I see that happen all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay. So what are you doing? Texting?
Well, yeah, because it's not this. It's 3.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Not cool. That's not even our generation. That's fucking many generations way gone.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. The tick mark, this big gigantic check mark, guys. 17%.
Who cares?
I don't get it.
I don't
check mark.
I don't send check marks as messages. I'll put check marks in a box.
Yeah,
when I need to check something off.
Yeah, when you're dealing with a checklist, a check mark is a really good. I could understand.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it in text.
Yeah,
unless
weird.
Steve, you text me a couple words with a box and I could put a check in it. That's the only way I would use it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, I did that. Like, I got you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. This one, though, guys, 5th, the poo emoji, 17%, by the way.
That needs to stay.
I'm okay. No, I disagree.
I know you wanted to go away.
Interesting.
That thing needs to stay. Dude, the poo pillows are hilarious. That shit needs to stay. No pun intended. That shit needs to stay. It's funny. If you can't make fun of it, I'm okay with that, but I'm okay with the poop emoji. When me and my wife are doing running jokes like we always do it texting, when the joke doesn't hit well, the poop emoji comes out. It's important. It shows that there was a stinker, so you can use many words.
There you go.
I love the poop emoji.
May I have the platform now?
Please.
Go for it. Of course.
Counterpoint.
Go for it.
It's a
Go
poop
for it.
with eyes. I never want to look down into the toilet after I've been sitting on it and see a poop staring back at me. That's what that text message emoji looks like, and it freaks me out. It's gotta
go. You're not a fan of Mr. Hanky the Christmas poo?
Mr. Hanky the Christmas poo is not as offensive looking.
But anybody that I've ever known in my life, you like Mr. Hanky the Christmas poo. That's why I thought you'd be with me on this one.
Crazy. I'm personally indifferent to it, to be honest with both of you, but I'm going to leave it at that. Moving on.
And that's where we need to leave it.
There you go. Moving on. The loud crying face. This is someone going, that makes you feel 16%.
That's a little overdramatic and passive aggressive.
I disagree.
Little bit. Like, you're not really, like, you didn't just get a text like your dog died. So, like, little.
You break up with your girlfriend, she sends you that? I mean, come on.
Yeah, but why would you ever break up during text? That's the worst.
People do it all the time, Johnny. That's the thing. People do it all the time.
If you break up with people during text, you are a disrespectful human being. I'm just going to leave that right here.
Exactly.
Completely agree. Yeah.
Just right here.
Exactly. The monkey eye cover app or the emoji.
Are you talking about the see no evil?
Yeah, I think so.
Hear no evil?
The see no evil one. Yeah.
I don't think I would ever
15%.
use that one.
Yeah, you don't have the speak
Big,
or the hear. You
have
just
the
have
hear,
the see.
But the see. No see.
Why are you?
Why would you
against
send
blind
that to
monkeys?
begin with?
Yeah, why are you against blind monkeys? I don't understand.
Yeah,
blind
exactly.
monkeys are monkeys too.
That's harsh.
Exactly. Another one, gents. The clapping hands emoji. That one, 10%.
Is that offensive?
That is apparently makes you look old.
I find it stupid. I find it stupid, but I get it every once in a while from people, and I'm okay with it. I don't judge character when I get it. Apparently, these guys do.
I guess. I don't get it. All right. 9th on the list, the lipstick kiss mark. Gents, that makes you look
getting
old.
rid of that.
From anybody but my wife, it's offensive.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense for you. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My wife sends it all the time. I'm okay with it. But if Steve would send it to me, I'd find that highly offensive.
Exactly.
But I don't find that offensive when my wife sends it to me.
Exactly. The last one is the grimacing face emoji, the emoji at 9%, gents. Makes you look old. I don't know what you think about that one. It's just a face that's grimacing, but
yeah, I don't know. I can take it or leave it. Big deal.
Yeah, take it or leave it.
I don't find it offensive.
I don't find the need to poll 2,000 people to ask whether or not it should be stay or go. That's
exactly
kind of silly. If you
there's also in this email or this entire article here a passive aggressive corporate email jargon decoded.
I can't wait for this.
And this one, gents, I mean, I don't know if I should. I think there's probably 10 of them. Yeah, there's probably 10 or 12 of them.
Read them all.
Read every one of them. Okay.
I want to see the reaction to every one of them.
Here we go. First,
I want to know. How many appeared in the commercial we did a few weeks back when I did the business jargon.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. All right. So the first one, per my last email, this apparently is decoded as the information is in previous correspondence. Why did you not bother to read it before asking? Per my last email, I send per this, per that all the time internally to people. And I've never, not one time in the career that I've had in the office, not one time has someone ever come back to me and say, Matt, you're a little passive aggressive with that email. I really don't appreciate it. I agree
with the first part. I agree with the first part where it said it was in my
information
previous
is the previous correspondent.
Yes, because that's the reason I would say it.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not intending to say, why didn't you read it? I'm assuming you read it. Usually what I'm saying is, per my last email, here's some additional information. Again, context matters. And to just say, in all instances, per my last email, is passive aggressive.
That's passive aggressive? Forget it. Yeah.
Frankly, this whole conversation is rather passive aggressive.
Exactly.
Well, true.
The next one. Hope this helps, Johnny. Hope this helps. Meaning, never ask me for anything again.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Why
stupid.
would you? I hope this helps. Comes a lot, because there are people out there that, hey, I got some information. I hope this helps. Hey, can you send me this email of this protocol? Yeah, no, I hope this helps.
Hope this helps.
Because you are in a situation that this needs to help you with. I hope it works out. I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sitting in desperately I can't. I hope it.
I'll do that too. I'll do that too. And I'll always caveat it by saying, if you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact me.
Exactly.
Please.
I say it because sometimes they'll ask me for something, and I'll send them something, but I'm not sure if it answers the question or not.
Exactly.
Or if it's what exactly they're looking for. So I'll say, hope this helps you. And, that from there,
I hope,
if they need
further
information, let me know.
I hope this gets you to where you need to go. Because most people, when they're asking for help, are not asking because they don't know the answer. So they're coming to a superior or someone that knows a little bit more about the situation, and they're asking for help. They're not asking for specific documents.
Exactly.
And that's where it would be passive aggressive. If A knew what B had, that you could consider that passive aggressive. But if someone calls like, "Hey, I don't know the protocol for said job I'm doing. Can you help me?" Yeah, I have a document I'm going to send you. It should help you. They're going to get, I hope this helps. Because I don't fucking know if it's going to help you or not. Because you're just asking for something. And this is all I have. I don't have any more.
You have any more.
It helps
exactly. Next one. Going to Steve for this one. Thank you for your feedback. I'll be sure to keep it in mind. Meaning, your criticism is incorrect and irrelevant, and I'll never consider it. So again, the phrase, thank you for your feedback. I'll be sure to keep it in mind. That apparently is passive aggressive. I think there's context on that. You're right.
The last I don't generally put the last, like I'll say thank you for the feedback.
Yeah. Period.
Period. You know, the second part's a little.
And then you're
weird.
out.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's almost like doubling what you're saying because it's like, okay, thanks for the feedback, period. At that point, it's like, okay, feedback received, got it, totally get it. But to throw in, I'll be sure to keep it in mind. Well, your feedback, you're acknowledging the feedback.
That's passive aggressive because you already acknowledged the feedback.
Yeah.
So why would you?
Exactly.
We know
why would you add on top of that?
Because you just acknowledged the feedback.
So,
you read the feedback.
Johnny, the next one. Just to clarify, meaning, do you realize how stupid that sounds?
Who wrote this?
Now, exactly. That's my question. Whenever I get that, I always ask, can I say, if I have a question, just clarifying, just so I understand what's going on here, fill in the rest of the email, I always ask a clarifying question. It's not passive aggressive.
I had this happen to me, and I told you guys in pre-production. I sent an email, and it was literally bullet points. I was mad about it at the time, but after a couple days of realizing how important it was, just to clarify, I got a phone call that clarified everything to make sure everything was properly documented and taken care of. Beautiful. Sometimes you need to clarify because maybe I'm not right in the right headspace. Maybe I'm doing two things, and I'm like, oh, well, I got to email this person, but I also got to do this, and maybe I forget something. That happens all the time. We forget shit all the time. So clarifying in an email, I don't think it's
or we misunderstand.
I don't think clarifying in an email is passive aggressive at all. I think it needs to be done more because less bullshit would happen if people would just clarify. To clarify, you wanted A, B, and C. Yes.
Yeah. The definition that they've provided assumes that the sender doesn't know the receive. Like the sender is assuming that the receiver is an idiot. That is not what that phrase means. Just to clarify, it
There's
seeks
no way
clarification.
It does.
No, it seeks clarification. Period. In regards to that. Period.
But that's where we've lost a lot of that, and that's a lot of the assumption that that comes along with, oh, you get the email and you just assume, oh, well, this is what I have to do. And it bites you in the ass all the time. You should always send if you do not understand the email 100% in any business, you need to either send or call for a clarifying message. Just be like, this is exactly what you want? Okay, cool. Then we can move forward. That's how shit gets done, and shit doesn't cost so much. Clarifying emails are important.
Big time. Big time. Steve, for you, I'm just circling back with you, just so you know. Just circling back, meaning Give me an answer to my question right now. To me, okay.
No.
Go ahead. What were we going to say? Go ahead.
So,
any thoughts?
Well, I don't like that term anyway.
I agree.
Circling back is one of those stupid ones that appeared, I'm sure, in the commercial.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
So I don't use it but passive aggressive. Circling back, as I understand it, is like let's return our attention to this topic or this piece of information.
I'm following up with you in regards to said.
Yeah, I'm following up with something.
There's a billion words in the dictionary that you could pick other than circle back. But Steve, an attorney coming to you about a case that you might not be involved in, that you maybe gave some advice in. I'm just giving you a hypothetical, right? And he wants to circle back. Let's just use those terms. But he needs you to kind of go back to the time and where you helped him because he needs a little help with it. You don't find that passive aggressive. You find that you're helping, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's got to refresh you because you don't fucking know. Like, I helped you 6 months ago. Hey, remember that case? No, I don't. Can you kind of give me some of the parameters to it? Oh, okay. That's circling back. Using that term maybe be passive aggressive, but not the.
I disagree. To me, if you're writing to somebody because you need an answer, no matter what language you choose, obviously you need an answer is needed, help. And you haven't given one. Okay, so if you're viewing it as passive aggressive, maybe your lazy ass should have answered the question to begin with
the first time.
Okay, the first time, right? If you're using it in that context, in John's context, it's completely circling back to that thing we did 6 months ago. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I remember now.
You might need that, I'm someone that gives advice a lot. I need to be reminded of what I helped you with last time, because I'm on to the next thing. My job continuously gets me on to the next thing. So if someone calls me about something that happened 2 weeks ago, can you give me some numbers? Can I have a station number? Can I have a work order number? Can I have the date that I was there? You know what I mean? Can we? That's circling back, definitely, because maybe I wrote something in the notes that doesn't correspond with what makes sense to someone looking at it in the paperwork form. I get that all the time. I don't find it. I find it we're clarifying, moving on so we can bill and move on. That's what the way people should look at business is. That's how business works. You need to put the stamp on it before it can be done.
Yep.
I don't think it's passive aggressive.
Next one for you. As previously discussed, sounds like I'm circling back with you right now. As previously discussed, meaning I didn't put it in writing last night because I assumed it was obvious and that you were an adult. See, that right there is a problem.
No, that doesn't. No, because how am I going to assume? How am I going to assume the dude I sent the email to, or the woman I sent the email to, is having a good day? First of all, how am I going to assume everything that I didn't detail, everything that I needed?
Yes.
I deal with inventory. I deal with offices. I deal with a ton of people. If I don't clarify what I need, how are they ever going to help me? I can't assume that they know. We're a large company. There's a bunch of us.
And again, the thought that I'm hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, when you say, as previously discussed, you're recalling that person's so that you're all on the same page together to be able to resolve a particular issue in business. That's why I've always used that phrase, as previously discussed, or as discussed from before, because it makes sure that everybody is on the same page, all from the same book. No one's coming and reading from chapter 5 when everyone's reading from chapter 3.
We previously discussed this. It's not the first email. So I do that. I do that all the time. It's not passive aggressive at all. I do it all. Maybe it is passive aggressive, but I don't think it's passive aggressive.
No,
because per our conversation, maybe you didn't. Maybe I'm not that important in your life, but we did have a conversation, and something needs to happen. So maybe that jogs the memory.
Here's the context I use it in. As we discussed, here is a draft of the patent application. Well, here's patent application with the changes as we discussed. Right?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Like we discussed changes. I made them as we discussed. Here's the draft. There you go.
Beautiful.
That's perfect. That's literally perfect. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Like, hey, per our conversation, I'm shipping this to you. Like that could be used so many ways that are positive. I don't know why it's.
Yeah. And for me,
if you're
on the
lazy,
billing side of things,
guys,
I
could see it.
Yeah, I mean, for me on the billing side of things, gents, I always say as we talked about over the phone or as we previously discussed, here's a copy of your invoice that you're looking for. Nothing.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Assuming, nothing that assumes I'm not assuming this person is an idiot. I am following up with them because the conversations I usually have are very pleasant with my customers as a result. So it's like, come on, Steve. The next one for you. While I understand your urgency, is this phrase, just because you didn't do something, just because you didn't do something when you were supposed to, doesn't make it my problem, apparently, is what the decode of that. While I understand your urgency. That, to me, sounds a little rude. If there's an urgent matter, it needs to get resolved immediately, period, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I mean, you can debate.
That we could debate that.
It depends on the urgency. Yes, it depends on the urgency.
But what are your thoughts on that?
I would never phrase anything like that. That's
no. Maybe if you sent 10 emails and it is an urgent matter, maybe.
Yeah.
You would passive aggressively. I'm talking, but 10 emails over a 2 to 3 week period. Like
it's probably
getting to the deadline.
It's probably an attempt to try and calm the reader down to say, okay, I get it. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
It's just poorly phrased. I think it assumes that it's like, okay, we get it. Where the sender of that email is like saying, dude, like you have to attend to this like right the hell now, and I don't need to hear any of your bullshit, that kind of a deal. So maybe that's, I think it's a poor way of like really kind of just glossing it over. I think it's not passive aggressive at all. It's just more glossing it over. Johnny, I'll let you two take it from here. So go ahead.
I love that one. That's my favorite one. Anytime I'm in,
I'm not.
What's
I
the
just
decode?
want you to know, I'm not. Go ahead, and take it, both of you.
What's the decode?
Yeah.
I'm not part of it. Oh, the decode. Okay, I'm not part of this conversation, and I don't want to be.
I 100% agree with that. I've been in those, and that is my exact response. I'll let you guys take it from here because I don't.
Oh, there you go.
The one thing I hate in email correspondence is reply all.
Oh, yeah.
And I check out and mute as quick as possible.
As
soon as I see a mass email and I know my 7 offenders of reply all are going to come in with simple conversations that could have been just replied to one person, I will passive aggressively check out immediately because I don't need my phone going off that much. I'm not.
There you go.
I'm not a serial texter. I don't need that kind of in my life. So I've used that one at times. Like I'll let you guys take it from here because it's an A-B conversation. I'll see my way out. Like all the time. Over here. I don't need to be involved.
There you go. Well, for Steve, thanks for the input. Meaning, don't speak to me ever again.
That's stupid.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Once again, who wrote this crap?
I just... Again, it's like...
Imagine someone responding to you,
I was just going to say, it kind of circles back to our earlier conversation about feedback, right? I mean,
can you imagine if you thought that way about people, being in your position, Steve, where you're trying to help people and right. you went to law school and you have this vast knowledge that you've learned of patent law, right? Could you imagine helping someone but living in the world thinking that they think you're an idiot? Like, how bad would that be?
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm going to help. Oh, that dude thinks I'm a fucking idiot. Because that's what they're saying. They're basically saying, like, people that are helping people are perceiving them to be stupid, and that's not the way the world works.
Yep.
There is a I don't know what to call it. It's called projection.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you accuse somebody of doing something that you yourself do. You project what you would do onto somebody else. We like to talk about it in like litigation, you know, when an opposing counsel accuses us of like hiding a document or something, we then worry maybe they're hiding something because they're projecting on us what they would themselves be doing. And I get the feeling that whoever put this together and the people that believe this are really projecting, like they are the assholes in business, and they are projecting other people's words or emojis as meaning things that are totally beyond normal person's comprehension.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, guys, so let's do the last 5 here real quick. Johnny, I've attached another copy for your convenience, meaning don't pretend like you didn't see the first one.
But that's it. The emails get lost all the time. So you should be willing to give them a document a second time. It happens all the time.
I'll be frequently asked.
Suck.
Email
servers suck.
Go ahead.
I'm asked frequently.
Steve, go ahead.
People will say, look, you know, can you just resend it to me so I don't have to dig through 100 emails that I got? Probably 95 of which are spam, you know, to find it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll resend it to you immediately.
Yeah. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so Steve, just a few things. There's another one. This is so terrible. Where do I even begin? Is the decoding. Just a few things.
I would use that, my usage of that would be to let them know, hey, it's not a lot. It's just a couple.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's on a laundry list. I literally have 3 demands or whatever it would be.
Yeah, I just have a few things to get off
I do
my
that
chest.
I do that all the time when I'm ordering with our equipment department. I always feel bad because I save a lot up. And I know Jason works really hard, so I always like, hey, I just need a couple little things. Like, I just need a little bit of help. Like, I'm not trying to overload you. Sorry. I do that is because I feel bad because I know he's like, fuck, John Tracy emailed me again. I know that because I do it to him quite oftenly. So I don't think it's bad. I think it's the email sender being kind or trying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Johnny. Friendly reminder. There's nothing friendly about this message. Friendly reminder. I always use that, by the way.
Friendly reminder needs to go out because most people are fucking stupid. I'll be honest with you. That email, I've said this a million times to the guy who sends the friendly reminder out in our company, that he needs to send more friendly reminders out because people are fucking stupid. Because they see the first half of the email and they don't read the second half of the email. He wouldn't have to send it out if they just read the fucking email because he writes pretty decent emails. A friendly reminder is passive aggressive, but it's warranted, I feel. I really do.
All right. There you go. Steve, at your earliest convenience, meaning do it now. That's my best Arnold impersonation, but at your earliest
I feel like
convenience.
Arnold needs to come back for this conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I
do it now.
No, I don't find it that way. It's when you can get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I want it done now, I'll say, please do this now. This needs to be done now. If it doesn't need to be done now, but I'd like it done soon, you know, when you have a chance, please do this.
Yeah, exactly. And the final one, gents, and for Johnny, let me know if you have any questions. Meaning, I really hope you don't have any questions for me, Johnny.
This writer needs to go back to school.
Yeah.
If you think that in an email, you shouldn't be in business. You should be dealing with people because that is a very simple. If you have any questions, please, I'll help.
Absolutely.
So, like,
can't.
Thinking that in a negative way that's why shit doesn't get done in this world. Because people are like, oh, well, that's a negative. No, if you need fucking help, you might want to call.
Ask, and ask for it. Yeah.
Call someone, and if I don't know, I might find someone that does know. You know what I mean? People will help each other.
Yep.
I think I think this article has lost sight in the fact that people will actually help each other.
Yeah. So the bottom line is, I'm just going to treat my emojis like Eric Cartman. They're my emojis. I do what I want.
Double barrel.
There you go. Double barrel. Double barrel. Woo! All right, guys. Topic 4 of episode 107. Close it out here. Let's talk.
Roger Goodell is racist.
Yes.
I just want to get that in for Steve. Roger Goodell is racist.
Well, you didn't hit it last time we talked about the NFL. I was just shocked.
Yes.
That's your rallying cry.
Roger Goodell is racist.
Racist. Exactly. Guys, yet another horrible, god-awful, terrible football game.
Yeah, there really isn't there really isn't any words for
Yeah. I mean, what did I sent you guys a screenshot of how much Amazon has paid. $13 billion.
Which is why it's not going anywhere.
Trash. No, exactly. $1.18 billion per year, 15 Thursday Night Football games per year. That's about $78 million per game. Thanks, Amazon. I hope you're loving that money going.
And then
right
you
down
have
the
to
tubes.
pay. And then you have to pay money that isn't your cable subscription. You have to pay money just to see these games.
That may not last much longer.
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
No,
that's not good. I refuse.
So what was halftime? 3-0 of the
3-0
Washington.
And we're talking about
the Washington-Chicago game.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears.
Because that's a fucking winner.
Yeah, and Chicago Bears looked like they were god awful, as I correctly predicted that they would wear their stupid orange helmets with those stupid orange jerseys. They looked like traffic cones out there. Are you kidding me with this?
I feel bad for Chicago fans because it's such a storied franchise. And what they're going through right now with trying to be urbanly cool and ridiculous with the orange helmet. They're just... Can we just all go back to Mike Singletary and Walter Payton and Dick Butkus and all them, and can you just, if you're gonna be a shitty team on Thursday, can you just wear the Chicago outfit that is either all white or
please, for the love of God.
They're the last team. They're the last team. Them Green Bay, they're the last teams that need overhauls on jerseys.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, they played in a playoff game at Soldier Field. This was years ago, of course, but they were two of the most storied franchises in all of the NFL history, dating back, and they were made to look comically inept and just I don't even know what to say anymore. These two storied franchises. Not to mention, you got Dan Snyder, who apparently has all kinds of crap on Goodell and the NFL, even though he is a piece of crap and has basically taken that entire franchise right down the toilet, literally and figuratively, gents. I mean,
I have a question.
Could you imagine having an owner on that? Go ahead, Johnny. What do you got?
I have a question.
What do you got?
How the fuck do you think he got in the NFL? Because he has a bunch of shit on a bunch of rich people. How do you get into an exclusive club like that? That is 32 of the richest people on the planet. Literally. How do you think you get into a club like that? You don't just want, hey, I got money. It's not. They all have money. Of course he got in. Probably went on a coke binge with Jerry. I'm sure. I'm sure that's what he has.
Well, it would certainly explain why he's hung around despite all the... the cheerleading thing alone should have been his exodus.
Yeah.
But...
The fact that FedEx had to write him a personal letter that say, listen, dude, if you don't change your name, we're out. Like FedEx had to pull the one card. Like we will defund you as a franchise if you don't listen to the people. Like that's he's a nutcase, and of course he has. They're all nutcases.
Yeah. I mean, but this guy ultimately is just like, I feel like in a way blessed that we have a terrific owner in the Eagles. I mean, with Jeff Lurie. I mean, really, we could have had Dan Snyder.
Yeah.
In that regard, and it would have been a disaster.
We could have had a lot.
It would have been an absolute disaster.
But we also had a ton of idiots, so we actually struck. Because we
would do
exactly.
We literally had a bunch of drunk idiots that Daniel Snyder is talking about. Like, we had those guys. They were the people that owned the Eagles franchise before. Yeah, before Jeffrey.
Exactly.
Lurie.
Yeah, Brayman and Toes and everybody else.
We lived that.
Yeah.
What?
We've had our fair share.
What can he possibly have on the owners that's worse than what's already out there in the world? Like Miami Dolphins and their coaching thing and Robert Kraft going to massage parlors. What could he possibly have that's worse than that?
Possibly have.
Oh, the old rub and tug? You're going Robert Kraft rub and tug? Yeah. Robert Kraft loves the rub and tug. By the way, he just married a 47-year-old woman and he's like 127. I wonder if he still does the rub and tug or he just brought it in-house because he doesn't want the media to run around saying rub and tug.
Oh my gosh.
I love saying rub and tug, so I'll keep saying it every time I say Patriots.
Can we move on? Let's move on from that real quick.
They are the New England rub and tugs to me.
All right,
real quick, just on that franchise.
On that
franchise, before we move off of that,
good.
The Thursday night thing. So when we looked during pre-production, it was during the Thursday night football. We looked at it was 0-0, and Carson Wentz was 5 of 9 for some yards.
Yeah,
and then we checked at halftime.
Carson Wentz doing Carson Wentz 59, by the way.
59 was it 59? All right, so it was 5 of 9 for 59 yards. Yeah, and then we checked in at halftime, and he was 5 of 14 for 59 yards. So he had since gone 0 for 5, and somehow Washington managed to kick a field goal out of that.
Yeah, their winning drive was pretty much aided by penalty flag. Which, speaking of, gents, let's talk a little penalty flags.
Yes.
One of the reasons why I don't watch the NFL anymore is just because of this one penalty, the roughing the passer
just that
calls that were
not pass interference.
Let's face it, not pass interference that always gets called on third down because it's in the booking. By the way, that is definitely scripted. Every third down, count on a flag happening because the defenses can't get off on third downs anymore. But now we have roughing the passer. Guys that are going down being tackled, sacks, are now being called roughing the passer. If you ask Carl Jefferson and Jerome Bogan, and both of them are pieces of trash.
It depends on who you're tackling. If it's Tom Brady, if you breathe on him, it's roughing the passer.
Absolutely does.
I mean, he's going through a tough divorce right now, so you got to be.
He's going through a hard time. Yeah, exactly.
Give him a break.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, this is one of the reasons why, guys, I'm not watching.
I'm not.
They don't know what these penalties are anymore. They just don't.
I'm not going to go on a rant, but
here's his rant.
I will. Have to.
Okay.
See, I told you.
I don't want to go on a rant. No, let me just be. It was the same exact play. There was nothing different between those two calls.
You need to explain the two calls.
They're overreacting to
two calls because people might not know.
So Tom Brady got tackled. On the hips. Spun down, and that was roughing the passer. Said quarterback, I think it was Patrick Mahomes, got tackled.
It was Derek Carr.
It was Derek Carr?
Derek Carr. Okay.
Yeah, Derek Carr.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was Mahomes.
I've probably seen a Mahomes play
Carr.
recently. That's probably why.
Yeah, exactly. And they would never call roughing the passer on for Patrick Mahomes. They like to watch him get thrown to the ground. Oh, so Derek Carr literally gets grabbed by the hips, thrown to the ground in the exact same fashion. I believe they're the same height too. I think they're pretty close in height. I mean, they both did the same thing. They both flat backed. They both landed on the ground. One was, okay, that was fine. You sacked the quarterback. The other one was 15 yards, roughing the passer. One was on primetime. One was on Sunday.
And both affected the games. Now, Kansas City came back to win against Oakland, but, I mean, the Atlanta Falcons did not. They ended up losing that game because of that call. While you were talking, Johnny, I threw both of those replays on screen just so as an FYI. But
I hope I described them well.
Otherwise, you'll look kind of like a fool.
Yeah, well,
if anything, I think all right,
it's going to look bad if.
Yeah, well, okay. Carr sack. Jones is tackling him kind of from behind.
Yeah,
but he's bringing him to the ground, and Jones is taking the ball away from Carr, and the flag happened. You're spot on with Brady though, with the spinning.
Oh no, well that's what
the ground.
So the one on Carr was also roughing the passer. Was also
roughing the passer.
I'm talking about. Yes. I'm referring about. John's talking about Mahomes was thrown down the same way Brady was. Same exact motion.
Yeah.
And it was not called against Mahomes, but it was against Brady.
And it was not called against Mahomes.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So, I mean,
I've seen the Carr one.
And their solution, guys, the solution that I've heard all throughout this week, well, they've got to review this. And I'm thinking, no, all they have to do is actually call the penalty. Call it by the letter of the law. They don't know, but that's the thing. They have to go in front of the competition committee to try and figure that out and all that kind of stuff. And it's like,
and the problem
with
the NFL is there's too many hands in the pot.
Yep. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Yep.
They need to actually, and I hate to say this because they've been a terrible organization for the whole time. They need to take some points from MLB because they at least get it right. They get it right quickly. They learned from being shitty for many, many years. You should probably take some lessons from them. NHL also same thing. NHL does not blow many calls. The NFL is in that same boat that MLB and the NHL were years ago. They're blowing so many calls at this point. They need to reevaluate everything. Replay, officiating, game speed.
That's part of the problem.
They need to reevaluate everything.
That's part of the problem,
everything.
John. MLB umpires, NHL officials that's their job. The MLB umpires are 162 games, NHL referees 82 games, maybe more depending on what their schedule is.
For better or worse, for better or worse, we got
NFL referees. It's a part-time job. They actually, most of them, I believe, most if not all, have like other, Monday to Friday jobs that they do, and refereeing
that needs to change.
Yeah. Well, maybe the advent of the spring football leagues are coming up. Maybe that might help. I don't know, but I mean, certainly that is a great concern. You're exactly right.
Officiating needs to change. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they definitely. I guess making them full time would be put their job on the line. Because what do we all do
I'd
normally,
be all in favor.
Right?
Well,
we make better calls because our job's on the line.
The heck yeah. Absolutely. I would agree.
Well, as far as the quarterback goes, I understand wanting to protect them because they are in usually a vulnerable spot, sitting back there looking downfield, not, seeing at least a running back or receiver most of the time, except for the passes where you suicide them into a linebacker, can see contact coming, and a quarterback has to look downfield. So I get wanting to protect them, but you've gotta draw a line somewhere. The one that really gets me is like when you just get a forearm that kind of touches the helmet, and it's roughing the passer because you made contact with the head.
And it's roughing the passer.
Like, come on.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
You can't ask a 300-pound man to fall correctly.
Exactly.
Especially an athlete.
Or control where his forearm is going.
He's trying to block a pass.
By the way, you're
exactly.
You're 305 pounds and you run a 3.9, right? So you from when you got off your block, you're running your fastest at 300 pounds, and oh God, your finger touched the helmet. Like that's actually a great job by him. That's a great job by him that he didn't decapitate the guy because he just ran at deer speed at 300 pounds. Like
exactly.
Fletcher Cox is a freak athlete.
One final thing before we get out of here with the NFL, there is some positive news. Todd Bowles handled himself tremendously over the this week. He was asked by a couple of really racist reporters. You know, he's like going up against Mike Tomlin this week. Both of them happen to be black, coaches. And wow, this is a really, really good thing. And the media completely, every time this happens, they always have to make it all about race, don't they, Johnny? And, they just fall flat in their face. They try, and Todd Bowles, though, with grace and dignity, handled himself with tremendous class. If you haven't seen it, I'll throw a link in there. Throw it right there if I can find it.
He played with it. I love these newer coaches, and Todd Bowles being one of them. That they're not playing with the media. They don't care.
They're not playing with the media.
They have no interest in. They don't need to be that old school, that ridiculous, hour and 50-minute press conference before, after, during. They're not playing that game anymore. They take those idiot questions and they throw them aside. And Todd Bowles did a tremendous job.
Love it.
Tremendous job.
Temple product, by the way. Temple product, by the way, Steve, which I love. So you gotta love that. Absolutely.
Because he wasn't our interim coach, right? He was involved with the team. Maybe he was interim defensive coordinator or something. I was sad to see him go.
I think you're right. Yeah,
because I always thought he could be good.
No,
and I thought he got a raw deal with the Jets. But because the Jets are the Jets. So.
It's more of a what does the owner have on the owner?
I want to see him succeed in Tampa Bay, but without Tom Brady. That's
yeah. I totally agree.
I'm pretty sure Todd Bowles wants to succeed in Tampa Bay without Tom Brady.
Exactly right. All right, guys. Well, that's it. That ends our episode 107 of Two Noobs Talking. Great to be able to sit and chat with both of you tonight. In lieu of the Phillies' victory, heading to the National League Championship Series against...
You know what in lieu of means?
Not in lieu of, but...
It means in place of.
And it's too late
in place of the Phillies' victory, we sat here and chatted.
Which didn't really happen.
No.
Yeah. Maybe it's a
Bryce Harper.
Space-time continuum. Don't say that. Shut up, Johnny.
I'm going to send him some passive-aggressive texts for revenge. How's that?
All right, let's go.
There you go.
Let's go.
Let's get out of here.
Per my last text message.
Love it. All right, Johnny. Well, let's get out of here. Where can people find us out there, Two Noobs?
Facebook,
the social media world.
Twitter. I'm talking about passive aggressive. Twitter. Instagram, also passive aggressive. Clever, also passive aggressive. TikTok, who keeps trying to hit us up for money to promote our videos, which means we're doing something well.
Interesting.
Because every time they're asking for cash, they know they got something. You can find little short videos that lead us to our YouTube channel, which will help us fuck those guys with the short videos, because all they want is money. Check us out on YouTube, and that will get us money, and that'll be better for us.
Absolutely. Audibly, Steve, where can people listen to us?
I want to comment first on the TikTok thing. That might just be China wants your credit card information. I don't know.
Most likely.
Audibly, people can listen to us at Podbean, who we give a thumbs up to. We also give thumbs up to Google Podcast. Matt gives a thumbs up to Apple Podcast. I don't, because I'll give a passive aggressive thumbs up to Apple Podcast. A thumbs up to Samsung Podcast, a thumbs up to Amazon Music, a thumbs up to Pandora, a thumbs down to iHeartRadio, because Glenn listens to them. He's a Dallas Cowboy fan, and it is Dallas week.
Yes, and
Oh,
and
yeah,
absolutely fuck
exactly.
Dallas in the butthole. So take that, Glenn. I will love you Monday.
And
take that.
And a thumb sideways to Spurtify, because I never know what to make of them given John's past history. Did I miss
There you
anything?
go.
Did I get everything?
I like them
All
now.
right. I think you're
All
good.
You got
Yeah,
it.
all
You're
good.
fine. You're fine.
Well, that's it, guys. Episode 107's in the can. It's on to 108. As we rub our microphones, I don't know why.
He started
Yeah, exactly. All right. Talk to you all guys next week. Take care.